Hey guys, it's Zoe, and today I'm going to be doing another mascara review and demo, and today it's going to be over the Covergirl Clump Crusher. Right here I have the original one. I guess it has the extensions, but it doesn't really make a difference to me, and then the waterproof version. So I'm going to be doing a review and demo on that and see what I talk about it. My other two mascara reviews and demos will be linked down below. Covergirl you can get at the drugstore, and these are called Clump Crusher for a reason, because they're meant to not clump, no matter how many coats you put on or no matter how much you build it up, it's not supposed to clump. So the wand looks like this. A lot of their mascaras are like this, the rubber bristles, like the plastic and rubber. And it has a little bit of a curve to it. Off with the pros. One, it is separating because of the wand, and that's what it's meant to do. Like, if you do have a clump or something, it is going to separate it and brush out that clump right away because of how separated the wand is and how the wand bristles are so hard that it's going to comb through your eyelashes. It really does have no clumps. Like, I mean, probably eventually if you kept putting on a ton, but it's way less clumpy than a normal mascara if you were to put on more coats. Especially like some brands. I feel like if you have another mascara on and then it was clumpy and you put this on over, it will help get out some of the clumps. So it is good for layering. I don't like it by itself. I do like it by itself because it's not clumpy, but it's just so natural for my liking by itself. So I like it for layering, either under or over mascara. If you put it under, then your main mascara is going to be this, and you put a mascara over it and it shouldn't be as clumpy looking. Or if you do your normal mascara and there is a few clumps, you can take this and go over it like you're applying another coat, and it will get rid of all of that clumps, which I really like this for that. Like, I always like to keep a bottle or a tube, I guess, in my collection to brush out the clumps, but I never find myself using it by itself. Very thin, lightweight mascara, so it makes your eyelashes look kind of feathery, so they don't look like crunchy or hard or brittle. I don't know if that's a pro for all people, but it is very, very lightweight. It does hold a curl in your eyelashes, especially the waterproof one, and it doesn't, you know, droop your eyelashes downwards because it's not that wet of a formula, so it can't really make them go straight. So it does do what it claims. It's Clump Crusher, and that's the name of it. It's not claimed to volumize. It's not really claimed to lengthen. It doesn't have many claims to like make your eyelashes look amazing. Its main idea is to crush clumps. So it does do what it says. It's at pretty good pricing, so I'm not going to say, oh, it's not that great on your eyelashes, because it does do what it claims to do. Now for the cons, one thing, it is super natural. That's not a con for everyone, depending on what you like in your mascara, but for me it's a con because if I'm going to be spending $7 on a mascara, I want it to make a big difference in my eyelashes, and I personally like dramatic lashes. Not like over the top, but I do like, because my eyelashes are on the shorter to average length, so I do like much of a dramatic difference. So it is more on the natural side, but that is because it is clumping through, or it is crushing through the clumps, so it can't really add too much. Not volumizing, it is more lengthening than it is anything. Like, it gives them a little bit of length because of how separating it is, but it does not give a lot of volume because volume is with thicker and clumpier mascaras, and you can't really get a lot of volume with that. And it's also not super black, especially the normal kind, and these are both in very black, yeah. And I feel like the waterproof one on this eye, as you will see in the demo, is darker, but that could also be because this one's newer. I purchased the normal one first, so maybe it's just because it's a little bit more dried up than the waterproof one, but I feel like even the waterproof one isn't that black, and maybe it's because it is clump crushing, so it can't really be, you know, super, super dark, but I feel like if you're going to get very black, it should be very black. Another major con in this mascara is it's super dry, and with dry mascaras, they run out faster because you have to repurchase them more often because they dry out faster than a normal mascara. Especially the more you use a mascara, the more dry it gets, and so this already starts out dry, so you have to repurchase it more often. I know some people prefer dry mascaras because they're less clumpy and they don't weigh your lashes down because they're not really wet. I don't like super liquidy mascaras either because those take forever to dry and they are kind of clumpy. I'm kind of in between. CoverGirl mascaras are more on the dry side though, a lot of them. And I guess that's the point of this, to, you know, comb through your lashes and break through clumps. But it just is, it sucks that you have to repurchase it more because it is more on the dry side. So if you don't like dry mascaras, I do not know if you'll like these. And I did do both because waterproof is different than the original form, because waterproof mascaras are oil-based or wax-based, so they're waterproof, and the normal ones are just water-based, so they are a little bit of a different formula. So it just depends on whether you want waterproof or not. Every single mascara has a waterproof version, and it always is a little bit different than the original because the formula has to change to make it waterproof or non-waterproof, so just keep that in mind. It's also buildable in a way where you can build it as much as you want and not really worry about clumps, but it's also not buildable, if you know what I mean. Like, the more you put on, it doesn't really get more dramatic, it doesn't really do much more. It doesn't add more length or more volume, maybe a little bit more separation and more, it defines them a little bit more, but yeah, it's buildable because you don't have to worry about it clumping, but it's also not buildable because it doesn't really make a difference with how many coats you do put on. Like I said, the formula is dry. I recommend this mascara again for layering under or over other mascaras to get rid of clumps. It's good for a no makeup look, which I didn't use that in my no makeup tutorial because I didn't have it with me because it was at my mom's house. But if you want to look like you're not wearing makeup or want a very, very natural lash, just do one coat of this and it's going to make it look like your natural lashes because it's not going to have any clumps, but it's just going to define them a little bit more. But I will give it a 9 out of 10. It's not my preference on what I like in a mascara, but I do give it a 9 out of 10 because it does what it claims to do, and it doesn't lie about being a clump crusher, and it's overall a great mascara. It's just not your typical everyday mascara. So would I repurchase it? Yes. But I would repurchase it as a layering mascara, not just by itself to use as an everyday mascara. That's how my eyelashes look. I feel like the waterproof one did clump up a little bit because I like touched them while they were drying. So that is kind of my fault. But let's get into the demo so you can see how it applies to my eyelashes. Okay, so I'm going to do one of each on each eye. I'm going to do the Clump Crusher extensions, the normal one on my right eye, which is your guys' left, and then the waterproof version on my left eye. To, of course, curl my eyelashes before like I normally would. So I'm going to use the normal one on my right eye. So here again is the wand. It's the rubber bristles, the rubber ones. It is very lengthening though, not as much volumizing. And I'm going to do the bottom. Of course, do a second coat, because I always do 2 coats with mascara, especially with this mascara. Okay, so here's how it looks on one eye. Now I'm going to take the same one, but their waterproof version, which is even more dry of a formula, and I'm going to do that on my left eye. So I feel like this one turned out darker than this eye. Even though they're both in like black is black or very black or whatever, I feel like this is darker than this one, and it feels like this one actually turned out better than this one. I'm not really sure. I feel like this one's a little bit more clumpy though at the base than this one is. So I mean, I feel like I'm wearing 2 different mascaras even though it's the same kind, but it like is completely different. Hope this was helpful. Let me know what you think of the mascara and if you like it or not, if you've tried it, if you want to try it. Also leave some mascara recommendations down below, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.